The kitchen used to be my safe space, warm, familiar, filled with weekend breakfasts and echoing laughter, but not anymore. That day felt like a war zone. My sister Vanessa stood across from me, fists clenched, red with rage. I told, "You not to touch my stuff." She shouted, shoving a chair out of her way. "I didn't," I said quietly, holding nothing but a glass of water. "I didn't go near your room, but reason had no place here." Before I could react, she lunged. Her elbow slammed into my side, hard. A sharp, cracking pain shot through my ribs as I hit the fridge, the glass falling from my hand and smashing on the tile below. "Mom!" I screamed, gasping for breath. "She hurt me." "I can't." But from the living room came a slow, annoyed voice. "Oh, honey." Not again. I turned, expecting concern. Instead, my mother stayed on the couch, eyes glued to the TV, brushing. Popcorn crumbs from her lap. She didn't mean it, she muttered. "Don't be dramatic." A note, "Call the cops." She's still applying for jobs. My vision blurred. I wasn't just in pain, I was invisible. At 23, working part-time, studying, trying to survive, and this was my reward. A broken rib and silence. I sat in the A, clutching my ribs, the nurse asking me for my emergency contact. I gave my mom's number. She didn't pick up Dot when the doctor said it was a hairline fracture. I didn't cry because of the pain. I cried because I knew I had to go back to a house where I was the problem, where my sister could hurt me and my mother would look the other way. The doctor gently asked, "Are you safe at home?" I wanted to say no. I wanted to tell him everything. But what would I even say? "My sister hits me and my mom doesn't care." It sounded ridiculous, Dot, so I lied. "Yes, I'm fine." But I wasn't back home. Vanessa had taken over the couch. She didn't even look at me. My mother, arms crossed, asked me sharply, "Did you press charges?" "Because we don't need police." Sniffing around. "She's under a lot of stress." I was stunned. I was the one in pain, but all they saw was how Vanessa felt. My mom turned to me and said, "If you can't handle living here, maybe you should leave." Leave? Where would I go? No one believed me. No one protected me. And for the first time, I realized I was truly alone in my own family. My 24th birthday came and went like it was nothing. No card, no cake, not even a passing happy birthday from my mom. Vanessa had friends over. She laughed all night, music blasting, her voice echoing through the walls. I stayed in my room, curled up on the mattress that sat directly on the floor. My ribs still ached with every breath. I checked my phone, one text. From an old coworker who'd moved to Texas. "Hey, hope you're doing okay." Happy birthday? That was it. The worst part? I had stopped expecting anything better. The years had chipped away at my hope like slow erosion. No one saw me, not truly. I remember being 8, holding my dad's hand in the kitchen. He used to sneak me cupcakes when Mom wasn't looking. Before he died, I mattered. After that, I became invisible. Vanessa was the golden child. Beautiful, charming, the one my mom always defended, no matter what she did, even when she dropped out of college, even when she lied, even when she broke things, and me. I was the too sensitive one, the drama queen, the one who was always making a big deal out of nothing. That night, I stared at the ceiling and made a decision. This house was never going to love me, so I had to start loving myself enough to leave. The attic was hot and dusty, full of things no one touched anymore. I wasn't looking for anything, just escaping. That's when I found it. A dusty cardboard box marked Vanessa College. Curiosity pulled me in. Inside were crumpled assignments, half-used notebooks, and an envelope. Inside that, unemployment checks, dozens, all uncashed. Why would Vanessa hide these? Then I found a crumpled letter. Her university had expelled her for violence against a doormate. The date was from 2 years ago. She never dropped out. She was kicked out. I stared at the paper, my heart pounding. My mother had always said Vanessa left college to take a break, that she was figuring things out. She knew. My mom had known everything and lied for her. Everything started to click. The excuses, the manipulation, the guilt trips, they weren't blind to Vanessa's abuse. They were covering it up. For the first time, anger overtook sadness. I wasn't imagining it. I wasn't overreacting. I had proof. I took pictures of everything, every check, every letter. I uploaded it to my drive, just in case, because maybe, just maybe, the truth could finally set me free. I dialed her number, heart pounding. Hello, Sandra? It had been 3 years since I spoke to my cousin. There was silence, then a gasp. Oh my God, is it you? We talked for an hour. I told her everything, the broken rib, the hospital, the lies, the letter. She didn't say, are you sure? She didn't say, maybe she didn't mean it. She said, pack your things. I'll come get you tonight. Tears slipped down my cheeks. No one had ever said those words. To me, not even once. I can't bring much, I whispered. You don't need much, she said. Just come. I started packing the second we hung up. I grabbed my IDs, my backup drive, my phone charger, and a single change of clothes. Everything else could burn for all I cared. Vanessa banged on my door at midnight, demanding to know why I was packing. I didn't answer. I just locked the door. For the first time ever, I didn't feel scared. I felt done. When Sandra pulled up, I ran to her car like it was oxygen. We didn't say much, just hugged tight. Are you okay? She asked softly. No, I said, but I will be. Sandra's place was small but peaceful, a soft beige couch, framed pictures of her kids, a cat that curled up in my lap like it had always known me, but peace didn't mean comfort. I flinched when someone closed a door too hard. I stayed quiet during meals. Every time Sandra asked if I was okay, I lied because I didn't even know what okay meant anymore. One night, she sat beside me with a steaming mug of tea. You don't have to be strong here, she said. You're safe. And I broke. All the anger, the grief, the pain, it spilled out like a dam collapsing. I sobbed into her shoulder for what felt like hours. She didn't rush me. She didn't ask me to explain. She just held me. For the first time in years, someone saw me, really saw me, and didn't look away. Healing wasn't a straight line. Some days I couldn't get out of bed. Other days I applied for jobs or scrolled through support groups online, but I had started. And that was enough. One afternoon, Sandra came rushing in with her phone. You need to see this. It was a screenshot from my mom's Facebook. She ran off without warning, after all we did for her. We sacrificed everything, and this is how she thanks us. The post was filled with comments. Kids these days are so ungrateful. She regret leaving her family. I felt sick. Then came a private message from Vanessa. Nice move, princess. Just remember, we know things too. Keep talking, and I'll make sure no one ever believes your version. I sat there, stunned. I hadn't spoken publicly. I hadn't accused them of anything, and yet they were scared, defensive, guilty. That night, I typed a long message. You're right, you know things, and I do too. Things like the uncashed unemployment checks, the university's letter, the A bill with my name on it, the bruises, the police report I never filed, but still have. I didn't send it. Instead, I saved it as a draft, and I smiled because now they knew I wasn't afraid anymore. The job wasn't glamorous, cashier at a grocery store, but it was mine. I wore my name tag like armor. I showed up early. I stayed late, and slowly people began to see me for who I really was. Capable, kind, strong. I found a tiny studio with peeling paint and mismatched tiles. But it had a lock, a door I could shut, a window that let in real light. At night, I'd lie on my secondhand couch, listen to music, and remind myself, this is my space. I made this happen. Sandra helped me budget. I started therapy. I even joined a free writing group on weekends, the first story I shared. It was fiction, but everyone knew it. WSN single quotes. The group clapped. Some cried, and someone whispered, "Thank you for telling the truth." I didn't need to post on Facebook. I didn't need revenge. I had reclaimed my voice. The email came on a Tuesday. "We miss you. Come visit." "Let's talk, Mom." I stared at it for a long time. Vanessa had also messaged me. "Mom's not doing well. She cries about you all the time. Just come over. Please, no apology. No acknowledgement. Just guilt." I didn't reply. Then came the twist. They showed up at my store. My mother and Vanessa. Vanessa wore sunglasses. My mom brought fake tears. "We just want to talk," she said loudly, hoping to cause a scene. But my manager walked over, looked at me, and asked calmly, "Do you want me to call security?" I nodded. Watching them escorted out felt surreal, but also necessary. They didn't come for closure. They came to control the story, to bring me back into the box I had finally climbed out of, but I wasn't that girl anymore. I was free. Months passed. I threw a dinner party in my little apartment, mismatched chairs, too many candles, and lasagna that was slightly burned. Sandra came. My writing group came. My therapist even dropped off flowers. We laughed. We told stories. We ate until we couldn't move. I looked around at all these beautiful, kind souls, none of them tied to me by blood, and thought, this is family. This is what it feels like to be loved without condition. Later that night, I sat on my fire escape, sipping tea and watching the stars. I remembered the bruises, the silence, the broken ribs, the ignored birthdays, but they didn't own me anymore. I'd taken my pain and turned it into power. And now I was finally home. It was during an open mic night that I finally told my story. The real one. My hands trembled as I stepped up to the mic. A small crowd filled the cafe, their faces gentle, curious. "My name is Emma," I began. And for most of my life, I was taught that silence meant survival. I didn't name names. I didn't need to. The room held its breath as I spoke about fear, about betrayal disguised as family, about a girl who had to leave everything behind to find herself. When I finished, there was no applause right away, just a heavy silence. Then someone in the back stood, clapped, and then another. By the end, people were hugging me, crying with me, thanking me. And that night, I walked home under the moonlight, not broken, but whole. A few weeks later, Sandra forwarded me a link. "Your sister was arrested," she texted. "Credit card fraud." It made the news. I clicked. Vanessa's face stared back at me, angry, caught, exposed. My heart didn't race. I didn't cheer, just sighed. Then a call came from a number I didn't know. I let it go to voicemail. It was my mother's voice. They took her. "I don't know what to do. Please. You're the only one who ever helped us." It was always like that, wasn't it? I was the solution when things fell apart, never the daughter when things were whole. I deleted the message. That night, I lit a candle. Not for Vanessa, not for my mother. For the girl I used to be, the one who thought love meant pain and family meant loyalty no matter what. She was gone now. And I didn't need saving. I got into a writing program, full scholarship. It came with a move to a new city, new roommates, a new sky outside my window. Moving day was quiet. I didn't have much, just books, clothes, a framed photo of Sandra, and one worn-out journal. Full of first drafts and dreams. As the train pulled out of the station, I looked back one last time. Not in longing, but in release. I was no longer the girl who needed approval from people, who never loved her right. Now I was a woman with stories to tell and a voice no one could take. Arrived in the city with tired feet, but a blazing heart. Because when you build your own foundation, no one can shake it. Months into the program, I published my first piece. It was a story about a girl who survived, who didn't get the apology, who didn't get justice, but who healed anyway. The piece went viral. People emailed, messaged, showed up at events just to say thank you. My professor called me brave. A reader called me her lifeline. I wasn't famous. I wasn't rich, but I was seen, heard, and I was helping others find their voice too. One night, I got a message from a stranger. Your story saved me. I thought I was alone. I stared at the words for a long time, then whispered to myself, that's why I lived through it. The first time I called a place home, really meant it, was on a rainy Thursday. I was curled on my new couch, wrapped in a blanket, tea in hand, laptop balanced on my knees. Outside, thunder rolled. Inside, I felt nothing but calm. There was no yelling, no threats, no silent treatments, no walking on eggshells. Just peace. Sandra sent a text. Proud of you, little sister. I smiled. I had lost a family, but I had gained truth, healing, myself. Sometimes I still felt sadness, but it didn't own me anymore. It passed like a storm, and I let it go. Because finally, after everything, I was free, I was whole, and I was home.